Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. When Alexis told Sam that she was going to represent herself because, she couldn't get another lawyer in time or whatever, she didn't feel like waiting. She wanted to sit there and see what kind of evidence that they had on her. So she was like, listen, I'll sit there and represent myself. And Sam was like, is that a good idea? And at first I was like, bro, you can take some time and get somebody else to represent you. It's like a doctor that's there trying to self-diagnose himself or herself. It's usually not a good idea. But then she was like, I'm a lawyer. This is what I do, and I'm just like, she does have a point. Like in all reality, she does have a point. Normally, I would sit there and go against that, but I'm like, okay, I got confidence in her, I got faith in her. And then the interview started with Bennett. She's asking she's going through the whole thing or whatever, just answering questions. Until it gets to a point where he asked her, was anybody else driving the car? He was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah. I drove it and I parked it and everything like that, and that was about it. And then he was like, that's funny because there was a person that actually saw your car at the Quartermains. The only thing I could sit there and say was, oops. Not gonna lie, I really thought she had that one. I really did. Okay. Let's go with, because there's so many. Let's go with Christina and Molly. So Christina comes to Molly's office and pretty much is like, they're your sisters. You threw me under the bus? Like, what's the matter with you? Of course, Molly's like, listen, I'm an officer of the court or whatever, it's my civic duty and da 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 da. They go back and forth. So yeah, after, she comes in and she's like, you threw me under the bus and everything like that. They kind of go back and forth. They get into the whole, you were planning on taking my baby and stuff like that. And Christina goes back into her whole, well, things just kind of happened, things just changed. And, then she used the whole excuse of, well, at one point, there was so much tension between you and TJ, which I'm going to be honest, that's getting old as hell at this point. Like, it really is. Um, at this point, Molly's not there blaming Christina. Christina's not there blaming Molly for throwing her under the bus and everything like that. In all reality, I was like, oh, yeah, Christina, I'm going to be honest. This is actually more your point. This is actually more of your fault. Because if you didn't actually take that gun, then Alexis wouldn't have had a reason to sit there and protect you. So in all reality, this is more your fault than it is of hers. Molly asks, now, hey, listen, did you do it? She says no. She's like, you gotta believe me. Like, in all reality, but she really doesn't. I mean, you were the person that sat there and said, at the 9 months, you're gonna sit there and give that baby back to her. So, in reality, no, she doesn't. She gets a call from Dex. So that they're saying that she's been arrested and everything like that. So she goes down there. I don't really know why, because it's not like she could really go in the room or do anything. She's the district attorney. I mean, the assistant district attorney. So she can't go in there and like mess with the process or anything like that. So while she sat there and said, Christina, there's nothing you can do. You might as well just sit there and not say anything. There's not really much you can do either. Um, Now Danny's super excited. He gets a text from Jason and that they're saying that he's in Africa trying to find Lucky. So he asks where Dante is to Liz. They get in the room, and long story short, she didn't even know about this trip. She didn't know about this trip or anything like that. told him to stop searching the internet because like where it was super dangerous and stuff. But you know, he knows his dad is a badass, so he's like he's not too worried. But they do want to calling Sam. Sam gets down there, and she finds out about Jason going to Africa to try to get lucky. She leaves for a little bit, and he leaves for a little bit. And Liv's like, that's isn't that a good thing? We can get Lulu and save Lulu and everything like that. And Sam is just like, no, because once again, you know, Danny's not there loving his dad, and he's put himself right back in danger. Not thinking of Sam, didn't even sit there and text Sam. Didn't even bother to sit there and text Liz. I don't even know if he sat there and text Jake. But the point is, um, I just want to also point out that I don't know if he texted Jake or not, but he clearly has a favorite son. Let's just put that out there. But yeah, Sam is pissed off, and Sam is like, she doesn't want anything to happen to Jason and to affect Danny, right? They go into this whole history and Lucky and everything like that because she's not really too happy that Lucky is gone. And at some point she was like, well, that's just how Jason is. Same thing with Lucky. I was like, I don't ever remember Lucky being like this free spirit that is just like to leave and go and not stick around and stuff like that, like Luke Spencer. I feel like this is more of a retcon. But, Sam was like, yeah, I get it. I knew exactly who Jason was too. I fell in love with him and everything like that. And then she was like, well, we had kids. And then I have to sit there and keep bringing this back up. Okay? Because I feel like at this point, I'm the only one. And I am standing. I am standing 10 toes down on this. Well, you knew exactly who you're sitting there dealing with. So maybe you shouldn't have had a baby with him. I'm 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 so sick and tired of her whining about the choice that she made. You made the choice. Deal with it. I don't. It's so annoying to sit there and have her whine about, oh, well, I fell in love with you and things changed. I was like, well, then you picked the bad partner. Um, Now Liz was a little out of pocket. I'm not gonna lie, because she sat there and she was like, well, at least Jason is trying and stuff like that. He did text Danny. He's paying for Jake's college and everything like that. And Sam was like, okay, so are you gonna sit there and give Lucky that same warm reception because he's missed out on most of Aiden's life as well. So are you gonna be? Oh, I guess he does a couple of Skype calls or whatever. Maybe at one point he used to go out and see him and stuff. Are you gonna be cool when he gets back? No. Okay. So let's not sit there and start trying to give Jason all these imaginary points and they're saying that at least he's trying. You're not gonna feel the same way about Lucky. And I was like, Sam's got a point. It's like Sam's got a point. Now Tracy is still on one. She's still sitting there giving Sasha a hard time about the party that she threw and everything like that, even after Sasha apologized, right? But then the scene gets weird, okay? Because for the most part, she's sitting there still bullying Sasha. Then she's complimenting Sasha. She's like, listen, your food, your dishes, or whatever is really great. Out of all the places I've ever went, yours is like the best. And at some point, you're gonna get tired of sitting there pleasing Cody. I'm just like, so you compliment. So let me get this straight. You're being bitchy to her. You compliment on her food. You're giving her this life lesson about you're gonna want more out of life. You're smart. You're gonna want more out of life than to, be pleasing Cody. And I'm just like, I am so confused right now. Like, we done went through like 3 different emotions in the course of like, I don't know, 7 minutes, give or take, or however long that scene was. Just for Sasha to say the same thing that Lois said. You're upset because you feel like I'm taking him away from you. And that he has a new family. And that he's spending time with his new family. Now you don't have any friends. And she's like, oh, well, that's low presumption for you. And she was like, and she looks and was like, yeah, but am I wrong? Why do you think you don't have that many friends? Then she walked away. There was really nothing that there was really nothing that Tracy could sit there and say because she knew she was right. Now Dante just goes to visit some woman in a bed that's playing Lulu until we get the other actress to play her. Then Cody gets there. He's sharing all these stories, how he met Lulu. Then he goes through memory lane, and then he starts kicking himself and saying that, I'm the one that broke her and everything. Just this self pityness that's like, I get it, I do. Your loved one's in the hospital. You start kind of picking and choosing what history that you want to sit there and mention in whatever time that you have with that person at that day. I think the only thing that was a little kind of annoying is that he's been doing that kind of off and on for a while. So at some point, it's like, when are we gonna get this new Lulu so we can stop doing this whole pity party thing? Because this is starting to get a little kind of old. Cause yeah. Anyway, what else we got? So Sonny comes over Ava's gallery, sit there and say that he has to change the custody case because reasons. And he pretty much kind of bullies Ava in a sense to be like, yo, listen, why don't you just concede and, you can have some visitation or whatever. Or just kind of psyching her out, right? And he's like, who are you going to sit there and get to represent you? Who's going to get to represent you to go up against, Diane and stuff? Of course, Slick Rick comes out there. He's more than ready for the challenge. He's like, I'm not afraid of you and I'm not afraid of Diane. And I personally think out of all the lawyers that could sit there and kind of go up against Diane would be Rick. I would sit there and put money on that. Those two get back. Those two get into it, and just a couple of points because they really kind of got into a lot. And one of the things maybe that Rick is projecting, right? Because he keeps to talk about Christina this and Christina that. And Molly's all left out. She's all left out in the cold, and Alexis is not there coddling Christina and just leaving Molly out and stuff like that. And of course, Sonny realized this, and everyone realizes that you're projecting. You're bringing up old history because of the way you felt when Adela chose Sonny over you. And now you're sitting there projecting those same angry, venomous feelings towards Christina. And, Ava tries to keep him on point, but, one of the things that Sonny said to Ava was like, yo, listen, you can't trust him. Listen, he turned over the mother of his own daughter. Or whatever. I'm pretty sure I just kind of screwed that up, and I'm not doing this again. But the point is, he turned over Alexis. Those two share a daughter. What do you think he's going to do to you? Just keep that in mind. He walks out, and Ava's like, is he right? Can I trust you? I'm like, Ava, at this point, you don't really have a choice. Like, I mean, let's just be clear about a couple of things. You was going to pick you. You have Scotty. Okay, so at this point, you're getting an upgrade. Okay, that's just number one. Number two, you don't have a lot of options. Number three, he seemed like he is highly motivated to taking on this case just to, really stick it to Sunday. You can't ask for better points than that. And then there's a quick scene of and Mac was there too. I forgot to mention his name. But then there's a quick scene where Christina gets in contact with Dante and is asking for his advice on what she should do. Which is interesting because everyone's been sitting there saying, don't do a damn thing. Just don't do anything. I get it. She doesn't want to sit there and have her mom go to jail for something that she did, right? She feels responsible, and she should feel responsible. Um, she talks to Dante, and Dante's like, "There's really nothing you can do." So unless she's going to sit there and confess to her actually having a gun, yeah, there's really nothing. Oh, and also Sonny came down there, tried to post bail for Alexis. Molly was there. Molly was, what the hell are you doing here? And at this point, I'm pretty sure Molly even feels that most likely Christina didn't do it. Sonny did it, right? So I wonder if it really comes down to will Sonny sit there and confess? Will Sonny sit there and take that bullet for Alexis? You know, because he's always need to talk about how he'll do anything for the mother of his children. You know, Carly, Olivia, Ava to some extent. Of course, that's where a little then. Then you have Alexis. So that's the question. And of course, you know when Danny came back, he heard Sam sniff there saying, "What if Jason doesn't make it? This, that, and the third. You know how is Danny gonna sit there and deal with that?" But you know, Danny comes in there and Danny's like, "Listen, Jason's gonna be fine. You just gotta sit there and have faith." And part of me is just sitting there thinking, out of all the stuff that Jason has actually ever been through, you should have a little more faith in him. I mean, I get it on some level. He didn't come back right away, but he wasn't dead though either. Maybe you should sit there and follow your son's lead. Just a suggestion. I feel like that's about it. I can't think of anything else, but if I forgot anything, write it in the comment section or come to the live stream, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, and Young and Restless. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.